Imagine a street paved not just with asphalt, but with the crushing ambition of American royalty, where marble palaces rose to touch the sky, only to vanish into dust and memory less than 40 years later. Welcome to the lost world of Millionaire's Row. Today, Fifth Avenue is a canyon of luxury retail and limestone apartment blocks, but in the late 19th century, it was the battleground for the soul of New York's elite. This wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a theater of war fought with architecture. Following the Civil War, the unprecedented wealth of the Gilded Age needed a stage, and that stage became the stretch of Fifth Avenue facing Central Park. Here, the titans of industry, the Astors, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, didn't just build homes, they built European-style castles to announce their arrival. They were trying to manufacture history in a country that was barely a century old. Take, for instance, the Cornelius Vanderbilt II mansion. Standing where Bergdorf Goodman is today, at 58th and 5th, it remains the largest private residence ever built in Manhattan. It was a terrifyingly large structure, a 137-room red brick and limestone beast that looked more like a royal palace than a city home. It had a ballroom, a grand salon, and a dining hall that could seat hundreds, all serviced by an army of invisible servants. But the architecture was merely a weapon in his social Cold War. The gatekeeper of this society was Caroline Astor, simply known as the Mrs. Astor. For decades, she ruled New York society from her mansions, enforcing the famous Rule of 400. The idea that there were only 400 people in New York, worth knowing, simply because that was the exact number that could fit into her ballroom. If you didn't have a mansion on the row, and you didn't get an invite to the ball, you didn't exist. But the tragedy of Millionaire's Row isn't just about how much money they spent, it's about how quickly it all evaporated. By the 1920s, the Gilded Age was rusting. The very commercialization that made these families rich began to creep up the avenue. The noise, the traffic, and the rising real estate taxes made living in a 100-room palace impractical. The inheritors of these fortunes didn't want to live in mausoleums. They wanted modern penthouse apartments. And so, the destruction began. It is almost incomprehensible to us now, but houses that would cost hundreds of millions of dollars to replicate today were sold for scrap. The Vanderbilt mansion stood for less than 47 years before it was torn down. Mrs. Astor's twin mansion at 65th Street, demolished to make way for a synagogue and an apartment building. Today, only ghosts remain. You can see the remnants if you know where to look. The Frick Collection on 71st Street is one of the few survivors, a rare glimpse into the private life of a steel baron. But for the most part, Millionaire's Row is a phantom museum. It serves as a brutal reminder that in New York City, nothing is sacred, and even the most solid stone foundations are no match for the relentless march of the future. The Gilded Age didn't just end, it was bulldozed, leaving behind only legends of a time when Fifth Avenue was the center of the world.